G'day folks, welcome back to this playthrough of the campaign game for Barbarossa Army Group Centre. Now I've spoken a lot about the Germans and what the Germans can do when advancing the rail lines. I've spoken about their mobile supply units and the value of their Panzer Corps and divisions and how effective the Germans are in just weaving through Axis lines. Particularly through these open areas. I mean, this is a German stack. They're all over the place. They're on the outskirts of Orsha up here. They've captured the city of Mogilev, sorry. Germans kind of seem to have this free reign to move where they want. Whenever the Russians try to put up a defensive position, and whenever I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is where we hold the Germans, they just move around it. So here in particular, I mean, the Russians thought, I'm playing this solo, so I'm playing both sides, but I'm thinking from the Russian perspective, okay, we've blocked all ways to kind of easily cross this river. And last turn, in fact, the Germans didn't attack out here. They kind of reorganized their forces into the three big Panzer Division stacks. And the Russians were thinking at the time, this could hold. This is maybe where we stop the Germans along the very northern edges of the Barbarossa River, which runs all the way down. Strong points, solid defensive positions. There's about 7 defensive points in each of these. Well, we had 3 stacks. There was 1 out here. Zones of control, blocking German abilities to easily cross that river. Everything looked good. And the Germans just smashed their way through. German pen, I can't remember how many they brought, about 4, I think from memory, a lot. And it was sufficient with their air power, no artillery in the area, but just sufficient just with those Panzer divisions alone, picking their target to really cause a lot of damage on the Russians. Force them into retreat, exploitation phase. They've surrounded the Russians in this area and cleared the road through to Orsha and Smolensk further to the north. Similar thing happened in Mogilev. City, strong points, solid defensive positions. Germans just focus on that hex and basically eliminate it. So the point, the problem I'm having is I don't know how to defend as the Russians, and I feel like I've got a handle on what the Germans need to do. They just need to push and drive and weave through and get around the Russians and leave them. You can see here, there's all these Russians in this area. There's Soviets further to the west. There's still a few left out here and some to the north there. Here's Minsk, incidentally. So the Soviets blocked this northern road, and they were thinking, right, there's no way they can get up to, I think it's Vitebsk up there. I could be wrong, sorry, no, Vitebsk up there. There's no way they can get this northern road. There's no way they can get through their northern supplies. And so the Germans go, okay, you block that road. We'll head this way instead, and we'll cross the rivers over at Cherniavka. They just weave their way around. And so now the Russians who were here are kind of being outflanked, and they need to then pull back. Wherever the Russians seem to put up a stand, the Germans just go, okay, you guys hold there, we'll just go around you. And when they do need to actually clear these key defensive positions, they focus their efforts and wipe out the Russians. This is a very different situation to what I experienced in Army Group South, Barbarossa Army Group South, where you do have a solid Soviet front line and defense in depth and headquarters that are able to mobilize and respond. This is kind of pockets of Soviet resistance around kind of key river crossings and cities, and I'm struggling. So if you've got any advice, let me know. I don't know basically how to effectively defend against these German strategies. I've been trying to pull back and save Soviets as much as possible. Crikey, looking over at their dead pool, there's a huge pile of counters over there. So I'm failing at that, trying to pull back and survive, trying to prevent these Russian units from being surrounded and pocketed. That's been a priority because they need to survive long term. This is a 50-turn campaign, and we're only in the first 10 turns. So it's still a long way to go. And my thinking was, and again, based on experience from Army Group South in particular, the Russians want to try to survive with as much as possible from those opening attacks, from those opening 10 turns. The reason, what I argued, the reason the Soviets lost in Army Group South is because when I played through it, they lost too many units. And so I was trying to prevent that, trying to just retreat. And I was thinking, okay, we'll form a new line around Minsk. That failed. Okay, we'll form a new line around the Berezina. That's failing. We'll form a new line around the Dnieper. That's been broken. It just seems that whenever the Soviets try to form a defensive position, the Germans just seem to break it too easily. And we're now, I was also thinking, okay, well, the Soviets will get this wave of reinforcements. The Germans will start to lose. Their forces will dwindle. Panzer Division, Motorized Division losses will affect them. Russian reinforcements will come on, and we'll start to see a solid Russian line. It's not happening. I'm sure that's probably how it should play out amongst experienced players, but my Russian play has certainly been subpar. Now, often I'll be able to draw lessons from this. I'll look at the situation, okay, right, I know what to do. If I were to replay Army Group South again, I'd know, I think, how to form a solid Russian defensive position down there. But here, I can't find the answers. I don't know. I'm at a loss as to what the Soviets should be doing. Last couple of turns reinforcement rolls, they're getting strong points. I'm trying to place these. There's a few under construction out near Smolensk up there. So I'm trying to place them in key areas. I've got my headquarters here. Where are they? Here it is. And I've got my mobile units who, well, they were somewhere behind the line. I think they've responded somewhere. I think one of them's headed out here to try and block that river crossing because now the Germans are all the way, they're in Russia. So this is the 3rd Panzer Division, I think. They've crossed that Belarusian-Russian border. This is the most advanced, these guys down here. They've crossed the Sochi River, or they're about to cross the Sochi River, sorry. So yeah, if I sound kind of flummoxed, it's because I don't know what lessons to draw from this. Trying to prevent being outflanked as the Soviets, trying to protect my forces, pulling back where it looks like a position is vulnerable, defending really solidly where I think I can hold a position. And the Germans just go, no, that's not a solid defense position. We're going to smash through there and take this city anyway, and all just go around you. And yeah, so problems for the Soviets. It really does seem like the writing's on the wall. Mogilev, Orsha, Smolensk, highway to Moscow. People are asking, well, why didn't I defend here, for example? Why didn't I defend there? I don't know. Trying to pick key defensive positions. I figured, when you go to the Soviet mindset, you're thinking, okay, where can the Germans drive? They'll probably be driving along the motorway or along the key road areas. And that's where the Germans were looking. The Germans are looking to cross and advance. They want the motorway. They want these primary roads. So the Russians have been trying to defend those primary routes of advance. And they don't want a weak advance because these panzer divisions can easily overrun a weak Soviet defensive position. We're getting to a point now where we have some very strong, if I can just show you kind of the strength in this stack, we've got 8, 16, 25, 31 strength points in a single stack of units within stacking limitations. I'll point out as well, there's 10 stacking points there, 31. That means they can overrun a full strength, if I can point one out, a full strength Soviet infantry division. They can overrun pretty much any unit on the board. That stack here. I've taken advice from a few people commenting on that. So the Soviets don't want to leave small, scattered, isolated formations defending bridge crossings. What I'm thinking is they want solid defensive positions, but when that happens, the Germans go, okay, we won't overrun anymore. We'll bring in what we had here in Mogilev was 3 stacks actually came around, surrounded this hex here and just smashed it. How do you defend against that? It was a strong point. It had a defense of, I think, 7 or 8, so it's pretty solid. Um, yeah, and it just fell. It fell very easily. Um, it wasn't even a very strong die roll from memory. It's about a 4, 5, or 6 or something. But just yeah. What else? So um, yeah, as I said, we're only probably 1/5 of the way through this campaign, and I've been playing as the Soviets so poorly that I don't think there are many turns left. I'll be calling this pretty soon, I think, because I just don't know. I'm going to see what happens here, what happens around Orsha and Smolensk. I mean, it could be over within a couple of turns. We could see, as I pointed out in the last video, the Germans are not far. This is the edge of the map, just up here, and this is the most advanced Panzer Division here. Yeah, so in theory, as I said, they can kind of just start driving west. We won't do that, but yeah. So yeah, troubles for the Soviets. If you've got any advice, I'd love to hear it. Because like I said, I feel like I've got the sort of German offensive operations at a good level for a relatively newbie like myself. But yeah, really struggling as the Soviets. It's a different puzzle. So when you play as the German side, you're solving this little road network puzzle. When you're playing as the Soviets, it's something completely different. You're trying to think of where the Germans might advance. You're trying to think of what is an adequate defensive position. And every time you kind of set up this wall, the Germans just smash it down. Anyway, folks, so that's the report for now. Mogilev captured by the Germans. Orsha, probably a turn, I'd say next turn it will fall. And Beresina will be cleared as well. This might hold, actually. There are, again, solid defensive lines here. And I guess we'll see what happens around here north of Orsha. Could be interesting. Stay tuned, and I'll report back soon.